Shawty said the kicker on my team can't kick. Shawty said the kicker on my team can't hit. What is up, everybody? My name is Advance, and this is Advanced Sports Talk. So, oh man, Sunday. What is going on with the kickers in this league, man? I swear. Oh boy. So, this was actually the second time I'm recording this video. First time something went wrong. I don't know what, but I'm here now. All right, so let's get into these Sunday games. Starting with the New York Jets versus the Atlanta Falcons. Oh man, Falcons won 27-20. It started off as a totally dominated first half by the Atlanta Falcons, and once again in Atlanta Falcon fashion, they almost choked it away. Luckily, Mike Davis had a go-ahead rushing touchdown for to bring the score to 27. All right, so next, my Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Miami Dolphins. So Buccaneers ended up winning 45-17. And the touchdowns that Antonio Brown didn't get in the New England game, he made up for it this week, scoring 2 back-to-back before the half. And Mike Evans scoring 2 touchdowns back-to-back before the end of the game. So I like the fact that they didn't let off the pedal. That's that's good. Because if you keep trash around long enough, it stinks. Not calling the Miami Dolphins trash. Because they're looking pretty good with Jacoby. It's looking like Tua's coming back next week, but still, Jacoby did the damn thing. He did his job. And he came in and not fucked up as bad. So he threw for 27 out of 39 for 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tom Brady, though, 30 for 41, 411 yards, 5 touchdowns. So I had to check to make sure that I didn't freeze. Yeah, Leonard Fournette secured the starting job for now. We shall see. I have a feeling that Rojo will earn it back eventually. Oh man, Antonio Brown, 124 yards receiving. Mike Evans, 113 yards receiving. All right, so Bucks won 45-17. Moving on to the Saints versus the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins. And man, I'll tell you this. Saints almost gave this game away. They was going back and forth. Or they was dominating the first half. Then Redskins started coming back. Then Jameis Winston finally remembered that he was Jameis Winston, first round pick out of Florida State. So yeah, he came back, decided to show some of that growth that he's done over the over the last season. But look, let me tell you, Taylor Heineke is the real deal. This kid's a leader, and he knows how to get it done. He can throw, and he can run, and he can scramble. So yeah, I'm glad they realized that you can throw to Alvin Kamara in this game. That's how they almost fucked up last game. All right, Saints ended up winning 33-22. Next, the Green Bay Packers versus the Cincinnati Bengals in the game that would not end. I swear, Buffalo Wild Wings couldn't have kept this game going any longer. Missed this kick, missed that kick. hit the crossbar, hit the flag. It was like, oh man, this was a fluster cluck. Like, I swear. And long story short, tied up 22 all going into the half. Luckily, Mason Crosby finally hit the field goal. Good on Matt LaFleur for having faith in the kicker despite the terrible performance. Maybe it was just bad kicker Sunday, because I've seen people was missing kicks left and right this week. So Packers ended up winning 25-22. Now, when you look at Aaron Rodgers' stats, 27 for 39, 344 yards, and 2 touchdowns. You know, you say like, oh, well, yeah, that's impressive. You know, but no, Aaron Rodgers was shaky in the first half of this game. So I don't know. I still think and this is gonna be it until anybody proves me wrong. I believe that he came back to tank the team, or I don't know. Maybe he had a change of heart. You know, realizing that he has Aaron Jones, who rushes for 100 yards a game, or Devontae Adams, who receives for 206 yards a game. I don't know. I still think that he's trying to give a final fuck you to the organization. Like, I can be your best friend, or I could be your worst enemy. That actually, it wouldn't be in his interest to do that, because they could just tell him to sit down. There's that. Anyway, moving on to the Detroit Lions versus the Minnesota Vikings. Yeah, Vikings, very low scoring game, pulled out the victory 19-17. Why does that score sound familiar? Yeah, Alexander Mattison filling in for the injured Dalvin Cook. 25 carries for 113 yards. Justin Jefferson caught 7 out of 8 targets for 124 yards. Man, let's keep it rolling. The Denver Broncos versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, Steelers won this game 27-19. But this battle mainly took place on the ground. Najee Harris rushing for 122 yards. It looks like the Steelers realized that Big Ben can't throw the ball 50 times a game. So he was 15 for 25 for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns. Teddy Bridgewater, 288 yards and 2 touchdowns. Still looking good. Tennessee Titans versus the Jacksonville Jaguars. Ryan Tannehill, 14 for 22, 197 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Trevor Lawrence, 23 for 33, 273 yards and 1 touchdown. Looks like he's starting to get used to the game. It's like the Jags are starting to show a little fight the last couple of weeks. You know, so now they maybe Urban Meyer can save his job. No, I'm sure they'll give him time. Derrick Henry, 29 carries for 130 yards. James Robinson, 18 carries for 149 yards. So the Jags can definitely run the ball. We know that. Titans won 37-19. Next, Philadelphia Eagles versus the Carolina Panthers. And this was a pretty emotional game to watch. So, first half, Jalen Hurts looked kind of shaky. Looked like he was still kind of in his head, not really confident of himself. He looked uncomfortable. Second half, he pulled his act together. And I'll say this: Carolina has a fierce pass rush. I don't know where they got it from, but yeah, they got a good front four. So they've been beating they was beating the Eagles tackles all day. Yeah, so, and that's what contributed to the fumble in the end zone before the half. And man, I was actually watching this game with an Eagles fan, and man, he lost his shit when that happened. And oh man, so, but luckily, Jalen Hurts pulled himself together in the third quarter, rushed for one touchdown. Then he rushed for another touchdown near the end of the game. So that pretty much sealed the game. Eagles won 21-18. So now we realize that that Carolina defense is actually something this year. The jury is still out on Sam Darnold. Next, the New England Patriots versus the Houston Texans. And the Texans had the Patriots down bad. 17-9 going into the half. Well, I'm sorry. 15-9 going into the half. Then in the second half, Mac Jones Mac Jones came out 23 for 30, throwing for 231 yards, one touchdown. But Davis Mills 21 for 29, throwing for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns. So since he has had to take over for Tyrod Taylor, he's been doing a good job. Patriots won because they were better. So Patriots won the game 25-22. Next, Cleveland Browns versus the LA Chargers. I gotta focus so that I don't keep calling them San Diego. But yeah, so this was a very high scoring game, almost a shootout, one would call. All right, so it was 42. No, the Chargers won 47-42, and Cleveland, once again, this was a game where a team was being dominated in the first half. Chargers was being dominated in the first half, came back in the fourth quarter, scored 26 points in the fourth quarter to win it. Man. So, this is how the fourth quarter went. Mike Williams touchdown. David Njoku passing touchdown for the Browns. Austin Eckler rushing touchdown. Kareem Hunt rushing touchdown. Austin Eckler another rushing touchdown. Austin Eckler another rushing touchdown. Oh man, that game was very entertaining, man. Jeez, man. Yeah, Baker Mayfield, 23 for 32, throwing for 305 yards and 2 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, 26 for 43, dancing very dangerous to 500. But that's because they were behind for most of the game, or for a good portion of the game. Throwing for 398 yards and 4 touchdowns. Nick Chubb, 161 yards rushing. David Njoku caught 7 out of 7 targets for 149 yards. Yeah, Mike Williams came back. 8 out of 16 targets, 165 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Yeah, Mike Williams has been a fantasy monster this year. I'm glad he's finally getting some consistent play, man. Or some consistent targets, I should say. Next, the Chicago Bears versus the Las Vegas Raiders. Man. Yeah, the Raiders had some shit going on with them over the weekend. I'm going to get into that in a minute. So, The Bears won 20-9. I'm sorry, 20-9. I ran both scores together. Sorry. Justin Fields, 12 for 20, 111 yards passing, 1 touchdown. Derek Carr, 206 yards, no touchdown. He's 22 for 35. Yeah, so yeah, like I said, Bears won 20-9. They had a lot of distraction over the weekend with John Gruden. There's some issues that happened with that, and some leaked emails with him saying some very questionable things. And Monday, more emails came out. Tuesday, he was forced to resign because he said he didn't want to become a distraction for the team. So, damn, it's crazy because they were just starting to head in the upward direction after he traded away all their best players. So, but in any case, hopefully the Raiders will bounce back. Hopefully they found a very capable stand-in or interim coach, to get through the season before they can do a quality hire. So, moving on. San Francisco 49ers versus the Arizona Cardinals. And this was a very uncharacteristic game for the Cardinals. They remain undefeated as they won 17-10. Yeah, the offense was there. It just looks like that the defense was just able to keep them out of the end zone. Kyler Murray, 22 for 31. 239 yards and 1 touchdown. Trey Lance, 15 for 29, 192 yards. Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins, 6 out of 9 for 87 yards. Deebo Samuels, 3 out of 9 for 58 yards. So, I don't know. This is like I guess it was just a really good defense. It was a really good defense on San Francisco's side and a really good defensive play on Arizona's side. I guess that's the reason why the scores were so low. But yeah, Cardinals won 17-10. Next, New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Man. The Giants went in to the half. They went into halftime down by 7. Score was 17-10 Cowboys. Then Dallas just ran away with the game. Giants kicked a field goal, but Dallas scored 10 points in the third quarter. Giants got a touchdown in the fourth quarter, but Dallas scored 17 more points for the end score of 44-20. Dallas Cowboys. So Cowboys doing their thing. They doing their thing to keep me from making jokes about them. Even though we all know that
Jerry Jones don't care about black people.
That's right. But yeah, so I'm gonna have to check the standings, but I think that means that they're sitting at the top of the NFC East. All right, so that wraps up the Sunday afternoon games. I'm gonna be back later for the primetime games. That's Sunday night, Thursday night, and Monday night. Actually, how much time do I got? You know what? Let's just go ahead and run into it now. We're going old school with it. All right, so first off, Thursday night game, LA Rams versus the Seattle Seahawks. This game was crazy. Yeah. Oh man. So Russell Wilson ended up injuring his a finger on his throwing hand. I think they said it was like Yeah, like a minor like tendon tear or something. I don't know what that was, but then we seen a guy come in that we haven't seen in a very long time. Geno Smith came in and mopped up, throwing for 131 yards, 1 touchdown. You know, of course, brought my man Alex Collins back. Yeah, I had to I had to shed a tear. Matt Stafford throwing for 365 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Man, look, Robert Woods, 12 of 14 for 150 yards. DK Metcalf caught 5 of 5 targets for 98 yards. Man, that kid's a beast, man. Rams ended up pulling out the victory, 26-17. Next, Buffalo Bills versus Kansas City Chiefs. Man, like, this game was entertaining as well. Of course, all the primetime games were entertaining. So, we got the Bills, who stomped the Chiefs 38-20. Man, I know Patrick Mahomes is pissed. I know Patrick Mahomes is pissed. So, let's pull up the stats. You know, I always give credit to my Buccaneers for putting the blueprint out on how to beat them. You know, you double Tyreek Hill, double Travis Kelce, take your chance with anybody else. So, in this game, it was actually Mecole Hardman that went off 9 catches for 76 yards. Now, Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce still did marginally well, catching 7 catches for 63 yards and 6 catches for 57 yards respectively. But they ain't getting no 100. They ain't getting no 150. They damn sure they ain't getting no 100, no 250. So, yeah. But, you know, the Bills did a good job. They took away their best assets. You know, so ended up winning 38-20. And next, the Indianapolis Colts versus the Baltimore Ravens. Old school Baltimore rivalry. So, this game, once again, we see a scenario where a team was dominated in the first half. The Colts was bullying the Ravens in the first half, man. It was crazy. They was trying to fight back. But, you know, Colts ended up still keeping their foot on them. But in games, it is very imperative that you score in the fourth quarter. So, man, Lamar Jackson, proving that he is the leader that he is, brought the team back from the brink of destruction. Oh, man. 2 touchdown passes back-to-back. 2 back-to-back touchdown passes to Mark Andrews. And a go-ahead, that's what tied it up. 2-point, made 2-point conversions on both of them. And a touchdown pass so let me get that. So scoring the 16 points in the fourth quarter tied the game up. Tied the game up at 25-25. Ravens, so they go into overtime. But before they go into overtime, Colts have a chance to win the game. Kicker misses a field goal. This is the week of bad kickers, man. Like, oh man, like this is a cursed week. get to next week. So, Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts go into overtime. Ravens win the coin toss. Of course, they took the ball. Drove down the field, and Lamar Jackson threw a beautiful touchdown pass to Hollywood Brown. Hollywood swinging, and man, yeah. So I've been giving the Colts shit for the past few weeks. Carson Wentz actually played a pretty good game this week. 25 for 35, 402 yards, 2 touchdowns. That almost reminds me of the Carson Wentz from 3 years ago. Or when was the Super Bowl? When was that Super Bowl with the Eagles? 17. 4 years ago. 5 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah. So, yeah. Lamar Jackson, 37 for 43. And they said he couldn't throw. Oh, man. Like, I'm going to do a video on quarterbacks that everybody says should be running backs. Man, because that was Lamar's thing for like the last 3 years. They were saying he can't throw. Man, 37 for 43. That means he only missed 6 passes that might have been dropped. Oh, man. Throwing for 442 yards and 4 touchdowns. So, man, Jonathan Taylor, he only got 53 yards. He only got 53 yards rushing? Hold up. He got to have some catches, too. Okay, 3 catches for 116 yards. Okay, I was about to say, I'm like, no, because I know every time I looked at the screen, Jonathan Taylor was killing the Ravens, man. Like, hey, running all over him. Now I know he just wasn't rushing. He wasn't just rushing. He was catching stuff too. Yeah, Mark Andrews, 11 out of 13 targets for 147 yards. Oh man. Lamar Jackson, once again, the lead rusher. That doesn't mean that he should be a running back. 14 carries for 62 yards. so yeah. All right, so that's going to wrap up this other super edition old school video. You know, I don't like them, usually don't like them being this long, but hey, circumstance. But listen, so big things going on. Got a Discord coming. I know I've been saying that for like the last week or so. Got some more social media going on. Got a lot of stuff going on this weekend. That's why I had a lot of stuff going on last week. That's why I wasn't able to get the videos out as much as I want to. But I am here. So, in any case, that's the breakdown. My name is Advance. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe on everything, all of my social medias, all of the social media.